I recently restored this little 6-inch jointer, and the only thing left to do to finish it is to install the knives. The problem is, the jointer didn't come with a manual or any knives installed. So today I'm going to show you how to install knives without any reference to work from, or using any special jigs or tools. But before we do anything, please make sure your machine is unplugged. Let's get acquainted with the machine first. In the front we've got the in-feed table, and then the other side the out-feed table, the fence, blade guard, and below it the cutter head. And to make the installation easier, I'm going to remove the fence and the blade guard. Now this cutter head has space for 3 knives, and the knives will sit into the slot and kept in place with a gib. Luckily, I did receive the original gibs for the machine, so the only thing I had to do is to determine what size knives I need. And now how I did that was to measure the total depth of the slot, the maximum clearance between the gib and the cutter head, and the overall width of the cutter head. Once you've got the measurements, you're going to have to find knives that are slightly shorter than the slot depth, thinner than the maximum clearance, and slightly wider than the cutter head. Now that I have my new knives, let me show you how to install it. Okay, now the tools you're going to need to install the knives is a piece of scrap wood, preferably one with a straight edge that's flat, a 10mm spanner to tighten the gib screws, yours might be different, a combination square or just basically the ruler thereof, and finally a small pick like this one. You can also use a piece of bent wire if you don't have a pick. Now everything that we're going to do from now on onwards is under the assumption that the in-feed table and the out-feed table as well as the cutter head are parallel to each other. If it's not, you won't be able to align the knives correctly. Okay, I'm first going to lower the in-feed table just to make it easier to see and to work. Then I'm going to set the out-feed table slightly higher than the cutter head. The height difference is usually the same as the knife's bevel. You could see 2 little holes there inside of the slots. Now this cutter head was designed to have 2 springs that the blade and the gib will rest on. But I'm not going to insert those because I've seen in the past that the spring doesn't only push up the knife but also the gib as well, and that can make it a little bit difficult. And now to insert the gib as well as the knife, make sure that it's aligned correctly. The gib is usually the same length as the cutter head, and the knife will extend slightly to each side. Now once you've got it in there, you can push both of them down. Just watch out for the knife edge, it's very sharp, and then slightly fasten the 2 outside gib screws just to the point that it's snug but still able to move. Now with the blade set, the next step is to find the highest point of the knife, and I believe it's there. You can then take your scrap piece of wood and press down the knife on the one side to make the blade level with the out-feed table, and then slowly tighten the gib screw on that side. You just repeat it on the other side, pressing down until it's level with the out-feed table, and then slowly tighten the gib screw. Now to repeat this for both of the other 2 knives. And if you wondered what the pick is for, you can use the pick as a little hook to pick up the knife if you can't pick it up with your fingers. Now that all of the knives are inserted, the next step is to fine tune them. And how you're going to do that is by using your ruler. You can also use anything that's able to stand upright on its own, on its side, with a measurement system on it. And you're going to use this to measure how much the knife drags the ruler forward on each side. Let's test this one. So I'm going to place it on the side, position it on the edge of the outfit table on 1 inch, and then I'm going to move it forward. This one is like a hair past a 1/4 inch of movement. Let's check the other side. Also like just a hair past a 1/4 inch. So I'm gonna set them for about a 1/4 inch, and to do that I'm gonna use the small pick to move the knife up or down. In the end, the goal is to have all of the knives drag the ruler the exact same distance on each side of the knife. Now this process is quite finicky and it's going to take some time, so be patient, but in the end it's going to be worth it. Once you've got it on the exact height you want it, you can just use your fingers to keep the blade in place and then slowly tighten it, because when you're tightening it, it might shift. Once you've tightened both ends, you can check it again if it didn't move, and once that is fine, you can tighten the middle two gibs. And then check it again. Perfect. Now to repeat the same process for the other two. Once you've fine-tuned all of the knives, just go around and make sure all of the gib screws are actually tightened. And then check all of them again, because they might have shifted while tightening it. Okay, now with all of the knives set, the final step is to set the outfit table's height to the exact same height of the highest point of the knives. So you want the knives to barely move the ruler. Now, if the outfit table is too low or lower than the knife's highest point, you might get a bow in your board, or if it's too high, you might get snipe. So you just need to set it accordingly. Now to put back the fence and the knife guard and make our first test cut. That's perfect. I'm very happy the jointer is finally finished. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you to set up your jointer, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.